definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Good morning to you and yours. This is the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. I am obviously not Joyce Woodman because he is traveling with Red Raider football today, sitting alongside not Jeff Haxton, but your Thanksgiving week co-host, Taylor Beadles. Taylor Beadles. I don't know where that came from. It's been a very long morning. We got to hear a nice story this morning about a chicken place in town and someone's frustration with them. So I apologize for that. How are you doing? Lucas White across the way, slides. Pushing buttons for us as he. It's gonna be a day. Can we start the whole show over? No, I'm kidding. Lucas White, sliding slides, pushing buttons for us, taking care of us as he always does. Taylor, how are you doing this fine Thanksgiving Eve?
Doing good. Getting excited. Ready to go. When I picked my daughter up from daycare yesterday, I heard the teacher said, I think she's excited for the holidays, which I think is code for she was a psycho today. So I think I'm in the same boat as her. I'm just excited.
So you're going to be a psycho on the show today?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Lucas, how are you doing today, sir? I haven't really had a chance to talk to you yet today.
I'm doing well. Now we're at the time where I'm at my managerial job. That's not where I'm there every day. So we've been busy, hit goal every single day so far. So
nice.
Things are going good. Business is going good. So it's a lot of work and not a lot of sleep. So, but
let's get this question out of the way on the Yates Learning Center chat line. Hey, y'all, just curious on the radio schedule for today and Friday. Happy Thanksgiving. Today we are here till 12:30 before Red Raider basketball takes over as Texas Tech plays Villanova. You hear that game on here on 100.7 The Score and over on Double T 97.3. You'll then have Tech Talk after the game, discussing the ins and outs and the ups and downs of what happened today. Tomorrow, kind of depending on what happens with Texas Tech basketball, depends on when they play, but that game will be on Double T. You'll have an NFL doubleheader, if not a triple header tomorrow, here on 100.7 The Score, depending on how when the Red Raiders play. If they play during I think it's the second game. If they play the second game tomorrow, you'll start the Cowboys game on Double T, and then the Cowboys game will be joined on. You'll start the game on The Score. Excuse me, and then you'll be joining it over on Double T. And then Friday morning, we've got morning show, and then lots of play-by-play here on The Score, and then we'll have Optimum Game Day Live starting at 2:30, taking you all the way to Tech football on Friday. So, all in all, lots of sports over the next few days. Lots of things going on the next few days with cooking and eating and napping, and don't forget the nap. Very, very important part of the nap.
I don't nap.
You don't nap?
No.
Like at all?
Mm-mm. I can't even remember the last time.
Nap's my favorite three-letter word.
You get up early.
Doesn't matter. I'll wake up early just to take a nap.
I can't nap. It just puts me in a bad mood the rest of the day if I take one.
You're doing it wrong.
I must be.
That's supposed to make you feel better.
No.
Wow.
It makes everything worse.
No, I'm not talking like a 4-hour nap or anything. Yeah. Just that 20-minute cat nap?
Can't do it.
On the couch?
Can't do it.
Whoa. You are going crazy today on the show.
That's right.
We're going to get into this a lot today with Tech playing Villanova at 12:30. Overall thoughts on this Red Raider basketball team? What do we know about this team right now?
Nothing.
It's kind of pretty interesting because I'm kind of in the same boat.
Because it is weird, like you have all the reporting from like a turn or an exhibition against a really good team with the Aggies, and so you're thinking one thing, which is always dangerous to take anything from any kind of exhibition in any sport, really. But it's hard not to, especially because it went Tech's way. They played well. They played not only well, they played a way that we want them to play.
Yeah.
High pace, shooting threes, shooting well. Like, it's just been so long since the team has shot well, it's felt like. And And then you get to the real season and you're winning, which is the ultimate goal. But each game has kind of looked different. In one, it was we're going to shoot 100 free throws. In one, we're not going to be able to shoot at all. In one, we're going to end the game with a long run, even though we played poorly through the most of it. So I don't think and then the competition has to be considered as well. So I just don't think you know very much. And that's kind of part of what makes these tournaments at the beginning of the season enlightening, is because even if they don't forecast what the season is going to eventually end up, you at least know, you get a better idea who you are right now.
Oh, 100%. When you're facing a Villanova type school, you're going to learn a lot today, no matter what you had done in the rest of your non-conference at this point of the year. And it is frustrating as a Tech fan that these games are all not played on your home floor or set up as a home and away type situation, that it's a neutral site in one of these tournaments. But it's also a benefit that you're going to be playing 3 games in 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to help this team out a lot as they get ready for Big 12 play. And facing a team like Villanova that you're going to be, Big 12 is no slouch in basketball, as we all know.
Yeah.
Villanova could play in the Big 12 and fit right in with what a lot of different teams are doing. So I think it's a good litmus test for what to expect in Big 12 play. I don't know that it's the definitive answer, though, because I still think that you've got one big giant hurdle for this basketball team right now, and that's they don't know each other yet even.
Yeah.
They know who each other are, but when this guy cuts this way, he wants the ball here. They're still figuring some of those things out, and that just takes time. And time is the one thing you can't speed up for a basketball team.
Yeah, and I guess the one benefit is that's kind of all of college basketball. Like, the movement is insane for every team, and so that's kind of what I meant by these in season. I'm thinking NBA. These early season tournaments, they're not necessarily predictive. Like Kansas gets blown out by Marquette last night. Like, is that predictive for the rest of the season? I doubt it. But that's who they are now. And that at least is something that, like, a Kansas fan can say, like, well, we're not as good as we hoped we were, at least right now, but maybe we'll get there. And it's the same idea with Tech. Is we've played some directional schools. We don't really know who we are. We will have a good idea of who we are right now, by tonight. And so that's nice to know.
Did you mention the Kansas game just because Clint's coming in right about now and he's listening to the radio and wanted to make sure he heard? I heard that conversation off air yesterday that he was all upset about it. So now I'm kind of wondering if you're doing it on purpose.
Every morning that I've been on, I have insulted the Jayhawks or Kansas in general, and so up to your interpretation on whether that was on purpose or not.
I'm not one really big for conspiracy theories. Because I never underestimate the power of stupidity. Like, never underestimate the power of stupidity.
For sure.
Someone doing something dumb once doesn't make it a conspiracy. It makes them being dumb. And as a lifetime supplier of being dumb, I can attest to that's happened from time to time. Coming up, we'll hit you with your headlines on the way as we tell you what you need to know. It is the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
What you need to know on the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. You need to know that Texas Tech will be taking on Villanova today, 12:30 pregame here on 100.7 The Score and over on Double T 97.3. You can also hear that game on both mobile apps if you are out and about getting ready for your Turkey Day festivities. Texas Tech takes on Texas on Friday. Is this the last time ever?
Probably not ever, but for a long time.
I don't feel like the Longhorns are going to do what we've seen from the Aggies, and that being avoidance at all costs. Like, we have zero interest to play them even in a bowl game type thing.
Yeah.
I think if Texas were to line up against Texas Tech in a bowl game matchup, that the Longhorns would be like, all right, we're playing the Red Raiders, and the fans will be excited and we'll be going.
Yep.
I don't know that they're going to force the issue.
Nah.
But if it falls that way, they are not opposed to it, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yep.
And I'm also not willing to say that there won't be some way down the line that these two teams meet up in non-conference or in a later conference play. Like, I still see that
for sure
as a possibility with as crazy as we've seen things in college athletics.
Movement is never ending. There's never like,
there is in fact always movement. Red Raider volleyball team back in action today at 2:00 over at the USA. So if you're looking for something to do instead of basketball, they're taking on Oklahoma for the final game of the home slate portion, whatever you want to call it, of their season. Two teams tied in the Big 12 standings. So in theory, should be a pretty good matchup over at the USA. Going back to Tech football, because I should have mentioned this when I mentioned Tech football. How about Tosh Brooks? Semifinals for the Doak Walker Award. That's a big one, folks. We've got a couple of winners here. They were back when Spike Dykes was your coach. And you've had some guys nominated before, but never make it this far in the review process. So I'm not saying that Tosh is going to win it, but he's still on the ballot.
Yeah.
And people are still thinking about him.
If Tech was better, had a better record, he would probably have a better chance. Unfortunately, that seems like how those things work.
Well, I think if Tech does really well on Friday,
that would help
against what is probably a top 5 run defense in the country. I think that will be something that could get him the award.
Yep.
He's also playing in his hometown, so that adds to the fire. And you got to figure when you're growing up in Austin, you expect to get at least some notice from the University of Texas, and not getting that as some added motivation for Taj. But as good as he's been this year, it's hard not to argue with what he is capable of, and him being on this semifinalist watch list for the Doak Walker Award. So good luck to Taj for that. Let's see. What else did I see? How about Dallas Cowboys playing tomorrow, looking for their first back-to-back Thanksgiving Day wins since 2009.
It feels like it has been bad. More bad than good, for sure.
There has been. If you go back and look, you've got a couple of, I think you've got a 3-game losing streak in there and 2-game losing streaks in that stretch. And then you win one and then drop another one. And it's not always been just playing really, really good teams on Thanksgiving that you've run into. You've played some bad teams and lost on Thanksgiving. So hopefully they can get that monkey off their back when they play the Commanders. You got any feel for what the Commanders are other than not good?
Not good. Losing to them would be bad at home for sure. I mean, like, I watched as much as I could of that Giants game just because it was funny. See two pretty bad teams go up against it, and we saw the Giants here 2 weeks ago, and to see them like look like a dominant offense at times against the Commanders, like, that just shows how bad they are. So who knows? It seems like it should be an easy win, but we've said that before.
But we have said that many times when it comes to the Cowboys. However, I still organize my Thanksgiving Day around the Cowboy game no matter what. So turkey normally goes in the oven at kickoff. I'm carving at halftime.
All right.
Like, that's usually how it goes. It's not what we're doing this year, or I should say what I'm doing this year. But that's where that sits. NBA all taking the next couple of days off because of, football and Thanksgiving and whatnot. I think they're back in. No, take that back.
Yeah, they played
tonight.
Yeah, Mavs played tonight.
Houston plays tonight at 7 versus Memphis. Spurs play tonight. 3-11 Spurs play tonight at 7. That's just one of those things that stands out. 3-11 Spurs. My brain doesn't compute that. I mean, it does, because I know what 3-11 means, and the Spurs haven't been good for the last couple of seasons. But still, they take on the Clippers at 7, with the Mavericks taking on the Lakers in Los Angeles. 9:30 for that game. Both teams 9 wins on the year. Lakers have 1 extra loss with 6 compared to the Mavericks 5. Do you like, you're a big NBA guy. Do you think that the Luka and Kyrie 2.0 season is going better?
Yeah, it's going better. I think, like, watching those two together is incredible. the team around them is the problem. And it's improved from last year, which is why it's going better. But they are still like 28th in defense, which is just not going to get it done. But there's some exciting. The guy they drafted, Derek Lively, has been good. He's a good fit, but he's still like 19, 20. So I mean, that's just not. You're not gonna have a defensive anchor at 19. And it's frustrating because those guys, Kyrie and Luka, have been so good. But when you're giving up as many points as they are, there's only so much you can do.
Well, those two could play defense too.
They can try.
They're allowed.
They can try
to play defense in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, other players, do on occasion play defense in the NBA.
It's inconsistent. That's the problem.
And with those guys,
yeah.
At best, it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
But they're in action at 9:30 tonight. So if Mavericks fans can check that out. I don't think I'm missing anything. Where were you on the Rangers hype train?
I was excited to watch. Of course, it's very fitting. The one team that in my life I had pretty much lost all emotional attachment to, the Rangers. Like, I mean, in 2011,
you were there.
I was there. I was driving. Like, we were driving to College Station. The Game 6 night, we stopped at the Loves in Hearn to watch the Texas Rangers win the World Series because it was the bottom we were listening to on the radio. It was the bottom.
You
of the
don't
night.
have to remind me. I
was
know
like,
exactly what happened.
I have to watch this. We stopped at that Loves. There's McDonald's in there, and we were watching it. And then obviously, and then
you can stop. Yes, we know what happened. We were there.
And so, like, that was the level of my fandom. And then the past 10 years, just other things have taken over, and it's just kind of. So I was happy for my friends that are still Rangers fans. We watched the World Series at my house, which is like the only baseball that's been watched at my house in years. But I was not. I thought it would be disingenuous to jump on the bandwagon after not caring for 10 years, basically. So.
So are you diving back into caring now?
No.
Okay.
I if they land Shohei Ohtani, then I might, because that guy is awesome.
I'm glad you brought that up. I am willing to admit that I might be completely nuts for what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why I could be nuts.
Yeah.
I don't want the Rangers to go after Ohtani.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Like,
you just add talent.
Sure. I think, though, that and it's not my money, so I shouldn't worry about this.
Correct.
But the money that you're going to have to pay Ohtani, I feel like you could get 2 or 3 other guys.
Possibly, yeah. That
can keep you at this level. And I'm not saying that Ohtani's not great. I mean, he's the MVP for a reason.
Back to back, right?
3, isn't it?
Something. Multiple in a row.
Yeah. But I'm just not I'm not hating on it. I'm just like, I let everybody else bid like crazy because they're going to.
Yeah.
Let's go get some other guys that can do some of the things that Ohtani can do.
But I don't know if there's other guys who can do what Ohtani can do.
Not individually, no. But you can go get.
What is the Moneyball meme? In the aggregate.
Sure, you're right. No. But not quite in the aggregate. But you're allowed to go sign a hitter and a pitcher.
Right.
Like, they don't have to be the same guy.
But it's cool that it be the same guy.
Oh, there's no doubt that it's cool.
I'm a casual that wants, so maybe that's the bad side.
and he would help the Rangers.
Yes.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I'm just like, we could spend that money someplace else. Let somebody else overpay. You did really well spending the lawyer you spent last year and the year before.
Yeah.
You got a World Series title for it.
You did.
Coming up, more Under the Bench. Why? Because we're here till 12 on 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
The End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Jeff in for Choice, Taylor in for Jeff. Different Jeff. That's going to be... You're going to have to find a better way. No, because it is Jeff. Like, let's give Haxton a little... Maybe I'll just say Haxton. Maybe I'll say... We'll say Taylor in for Hacks. We'll do it that way. That way it sounds better. Otherwise, we're all going to get confused here. Taking your thoughts off the 8 Sporting Center chat line before we check the calendar. Someone posts a picture and this would be bullfighter, of the Big 12 coaches as women.
Why?
Well, it's bullfighter, and crazy things have happened in the course of history. I don't know who that is. The bottom right. Now, on third row, all the way to the right. I don't know who that is. There's only a couple I could try to identify. And I am now closing that picture. Some would agree with you on Ohtani. I get the concerns. Don't love the idea of giving one guy that much money, but I would still love it if they added him. Maybe that might be the better way of where I'm at. Big, long-term, huge money contracts in Major League Baseball history aren't the greatest thing ever for the fan base. Mm-hmm. But it's also not my money. So there's that too. As a Rangers fan, I'd rather have better pitching. Obviously, Ohtani not going to be pitching for the next year because of...
but when he does pitch...
Sure.
He is really good.
T-Money 806 chiming in. Sweet, KU took an L. Hope the injury bug finds them all season long.
I appreciate that.
And then Tyler chimes in on Ohtani. Yeah, but Ohtani was double benefit once he heals. Sign him and then another reliever. See, that is where I want the Rangers to go, oh, look, I'll take one of you, and 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 I'll take one of you for the bullpen. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Ohtani wants to be in the bullpen. You got to remember, you got a bunch of guys that are in your rotation that are signed.
Yeah.
So that could also help signing Ohtani because he's not pitching this year. So there's a thought that goes there, too. And Tyler also saying that number 3 is Clint on the Big 12 basketball coaches.
Interesting.
I'd have to see Clint without a beard. I'd have to see that first. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'd have to see Clint without a beard first. And I don't know that I want to see Clint without a beard. You know what I mean? That would just be weird.
Yeah.
Let's check the calendar.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
Short one today because, Tech Villanova. 1:30 tip-off, 12:30 pregame here on 100.7 The Score. And Double T 97.3, respectively. We've then got Cowboys Hour. Cowboys Talk at 7 over on Double T 97.3. Little... strange that they're doing Cowboys crosstalk today, but didn't do Cowboys Hour on Monday. I really would have done that the other way around.
You should let them know.
Well, they don't care what I just from the logistical standpoint of it. It's the reason they didn't do one of them is because of the Thursday night game and it being Thanksgiving and everything else. It makes more sense to me that they would have done Monday and not Wednesday before Thanksgiving. You give everybody Wednesday off to do their Thanksgiving stuff at home, and then you do the Thanksgiving Day game, which they're all Cowboys employees and players and whatnot. They're used to playing on Thanksgiving. I don't know. I guess I'm talking myself into it both ways now that they got Monday off. Mm-hmm. Holidays today. I did not pull this up ahead of time, so I'm a terrible person about this. I know it's cranberry juice? Cranberry Day. No, that was yesterday.
Yeah,
the berry was yesterday. Cashews Day. Where are you at on cashews?
Pro.
Are they your favorite?
No.
What is your favorite?
Pecans.
So you're a huge fan of pecan pie, if I had to guess then.
Oh, yeah.
Will an entire pecan pie be ingested by you tomorrow?
It will not, no. But plenty will, yeah. What is today, the 22nd?
Today is the 22nd of November.
National Jukebox Day.
Jukebox Day, how about that? Where are you at on the assassination of John F. Kennedy?
What do you mean?
Because that's what happened today in Dallas.
Right, what do you mean where am I at on it?
Did Oswald act alone?
Yes.
He acted alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a conspiracy theory.
3 shots fired?
See, I guess that's the thing. I mean, I'm with the party line on this one. Like, there's too many things, like all that kind of stuff. Like, there's details, I guess I'm like fuzzy on, but I think that Oswald acted alone. I think he was his person that, like, a lot of people try to say, like, why would this guy do this? Like, he was a patsy, he was set up. He was that. I don't think so. Like, he killed Tippett afterwards. You know, like he went home, changed his clothes, got a pistol. Like, his story, I guess, is like, oh, I just got the rest of the day off because the president got shot. Well, why are you doing that on, like, when you have the rest of the day? There's just a lot of suspicious behavior from him, which is why all the conspiracy stuff for me kind of goes out the door.
Yeah. Have you been to Daily Plaza?
Yes.
Have you been to the 6th floor museum?
Yes. It's been a long time, but yes.
It is a surreal experience when you go under the triple bridge, and all of a sudden you're there.
With the X.
Well, because that plaza hasn't changed much since 63. I mean, obviously, the tenants of buildings have changed, and it's no longer a book depository building and all that kind of stuff. But it is such a transport you back in time moment that your first thought is, holy cow, I know exactly where I am.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's right there. And you're like, it's I don't want to say shocking, but it is like, you ever watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It's been a long time.
The scene where he rolls into Toontown?
Yeah.
And like the curtain opens up and the music it's almost like that.
Yeah.
Going underneath that triple bridge in Daily Plaza. Have I checked out the Conspiracy Museum near Daily Plaza? I have not.
I've heard about that.
I imagine there's a lot of fun stuff there. But I don't buy into the conspiracies either.
There's usually people outside of the museum that'll get you full up on conspiracy theories.
I actually also heard a rumor that the X on the street isn't painted by the city.
I
don't know who does it, but apparently it's not the city for where that happened. Where whenever they do the resurfacing, that someone. They don't know, like, somebody knows who, obviously, but it's not the city that puts the X there.
That's a little creepy.
For where the assassination took place. So, have you seen the National Geographic?
No, but I've heard it's awesome.
I've seen the first 2 episodes, and they kind of draw it out a little bit. I think, like, I love a documentary on YouTube or Netflix or wherever, probably more than I should. I feel like, though, that they're making these longer than they have to be. Like, they're covering more of the subject that everybody already knows.
Right.
And, like, really pausing between things that they're saying.
I've heard this argument about this, and then I heard the counter argument to, we're getting to a point so far away that
not everybody knows.
Right. And so I was like, I guess that makes sense. As much as it might be annoying for people who do know, I get that.
I will say this, though. Every time I see Jackie in that pink pantsuit or dress thing that she was, or whatever, I guess it's more of a dress, all I want to do is scream at her to change clothes. Not that it's her fault, but I know it. Like, it's so ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
That outfit is bad news. Whenever you see that outfit, you know there's a bad day coming.
For sure.
So you just want to scream at her to change those clothes out and put something else on, and maybe that will change history. Your thoughts on Jack Ruby? Attention hound?
Yes.
And wannabe gangster, and wanted the spotlight, and found a way to get it.
Yeah.
And someone saying, I heard Dez repaints the X. That's a definite possibility. Because he threw up a lot of it.
I appreciate that joke.
I do. We'll take more thoughts from you guys rolling in off the Yates Flooring Center chat line and get into this Texas Tech versus Texas football game on Friday night in Austin. It's on the way on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
More hour of the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Jeff in for Choice, Taylor in for Haxton as we get you guys ready for Texas Tech basketball versus Villanova, 12:30 today here on 100.7 The Score and over on Double T 97.3. Cowboys crosstalk, coming up at 7, getting ready for the Thanksgiving Day game against the Commanders. We just kind of hinted that, Thanksgiving top tier holiday. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's out of the realm of anybody's conversation here.
No.
What I like about Thanksgiving that you don't get with Christmas, that you kind of get with the 4th of July, that you kind of get with Mother's Day, is that everybody gets to be involved.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, everybody in the United States can celebrate Thanksgiving. It's our day of Thanksgiving. It's not just a religious holiday that you've got to be in that religion to celebrate. Not to saying that religious holidays are bad, don't get me wrong. But it's one time that we're all together doing something. Now, what I hate about Thanksgiving. Do you get dragged to Thanksgiving, with the family?
I go...
Oh, y'all need to come for Thanksgiving! You get that? You know who I'm talking about.
Yes. We just have a system. One year it's wife's family.
Oh, a system.
Next year it's my family.
No one understands the system in my family. Nobody understands the system in my family.
Yes.
They also, the big one I run into, well, aren't you off for Thanksgiving? Yeah. And then back at work at 4:30 on Friday. You're 5 out. I would have to leave when the turkey comes out of the oven. So I could go home and sleep to be back at work.
Right.
They don't understand conversations that I get to have every single year for a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. My dad worked in retail all growing up. So I understand the traveling for Thanksgiving is not always feasible, considering especially back when I was a kid, that was when Black Friday started at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
That he would have to be at. So.
And Black Friday's pretty much dead, right?
I wouldn't say that.
The concept of that we grew up with Black Friday.
I don't know. I do now I know they don't open, they wait till Friday, which I think is good.
Yeah, but you can get Black Friday deals a week ago.
Some of them. Not all of them. And then there's Cyber Monday, and then there's Small Business Saturday. There's plenty of opportunities there.
I'm not.
Hence why I'm going to be busy this weekend.
Well, yeah. There's people out shopping. Don't get me wrong, but it was the lady tapping on the glass. Open. You're not doing that anymore.
You'll still see videos of that this weekend.
Really?
Oh yeah, but it's not what it used to be. That's for sure. Online shopping has changed a lot of that. There's no doubt about that. But it still exists.
And it's interesting. I'll do Christmas shopping online 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I'll do birthday shopping online 100%. But clothes shopping? No.
Yeah.
I'm not buying clothes online. Unless it's a hat or something where I guarantee the size or, I know exactly how this works.
Yeah.
I'm not buying shoes online. I need to try the shoes on first.
Yeah, but you can always return.
Right. And then I got to send it back to them and get the new size and wait for it to come back to me where I could just go to the shoe store and have new shoes today.
Yeah. I prefer shopping in person.
I will also say, and I hope all these stores are listening, I will pay a premium to have the item in my hand today when I can walk out of the store.
Yeah.
And these are items I don't want to say phone charger because the phone chargers, I'll buy 6 of them when I buy them online. But if I'm looking for something specific, a few years ago, I needed bed rails. Mm-hmm. My dog had tripped me and I had landed on mine and it had bent because all of my weight went on one section of some very old bed rails. I could order them online and they would be here in 3 days.
Yeah.
I will pay double to have them here now.
Yeah.
And couldn't find them anywhere in town.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider.
Yeah.
This past year I bought the parts and built my new computer.
Yeah.
Which I am very happy with, by the way. 100%. everyone couldn't understand why I was putting all this effort in. Like, just go buy a computer. Like, it's different. I'm building a gaming machine. The other aspect of it is I couldn't go to a store and buy these parts here in town.
Yeah.
I'd have to drive to Dallas or Houston or Denver to get these parts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that they're that specialty parts, but they don't carry video cards at Best Buy anymore. That doesn't happen anymore.
We used to be a proper country.
I'm just saying. Were you listening to the morning show today? Your way in?
A little bit.
Did you hear the Popeyes
No.
escapade from Chuck?
No.
I highly encourage you to go check out the podcast. And this person off the Yates Learning Center chat line obviously was listening. Hell, Chuck beats on the glass at the Popeyes to get who needs Black Friday. There's some truth there. Had a friend who was a general manager at Hollywood big chain drugstore. He worked every holiday, met many celebrities, made good money, but worked every holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sports is different. Like, we work weekends, we work nights, we work holidays, because that's when the sports happen.
Mm-hmm.
So working holidays is not that big of a deal for me. And I will say that one thing about Christmas, though, that plays into, while I fully understand Christmas Day is December 25th.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 years ago, we did Christmas in, like, February with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's when we opened presents and everybody got together and did the celebration, because that's when we could all get off together and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it was like February 17th. It was after Valentine's Day that we did Christmas. So there's like hearts everywhere, and we were doing Christmas with a Christmas tree. It was kind of fun. Christmas decorations go up for you?
They're up.
They're up. Lights on?
Yep.
Lights on.
Yeah, I put the lights on the house this weekend, and yeah, pretty much everything. Tree got put up, decorations inside. Yeah, this like past weekend.
Growing up, decorations went up the week of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
They came down the week of spring break. It took a week to put them all up and take them all down. Let's make this. My mom loved decorating for Christmas.
Yeah,
and the house was cleaner when it was decorated for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another benefit that we were always more careful walking around and not wanting to bump into things, and wasn't as much of a mess. So I encourage you to enjoy your Christmas decorations.
Oh, I will.
And all those out there that are celebrating in that way with your lights on. And I just want you to acknowledge, though, the turkey gets his day. That's all I want. Give the turkey the day.
Quick score, North Carolina 2, Northern Iowa 10.
There you go.
Wow. That's not how I thought that game was going to go.
Maybe it'll finish that
First
way.
media timeout for them.
Oh, wow. That's coming out on fire. I can't do the Jamie Lynn on fire right now. I'm a little congested. I can't do that upper register that he does. So I can't even try it. It's the end of the bench at 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Get him in now on the Yates Learning Center chat line at 107thescore.com or the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Questions rolling in for Ask The Benchwarmers. We hinted at this earlier, but we can hit it here again. Texas Tech will play Texas after Friday in your lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's far of an outstretch. Speaking of, did you see the tweet from A&M earlier this week?
Oh yeah, we talked. Me and Joyce talked about that.
My God!
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I want to give somebody a break on it because it's in their game notes, right? And some intern somewhere is putting it together and sees that and goes, "Hey, wow, that's a cool stat.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this in this tweet to get retweets and likes and everything else," and everybody moves on. The backlash that tweet got, mine wasn't as bad as the backlash that one got. And thank God that one came out, so maybe that kind of really calmed some things down. But it was like, didn't realize how skewed it was. That they hadn't. I knew they hadn't played Tech. I knew they hadn't played Texas. I didn't think they played TCU or Baylor.
Barely Division I teams.
Right, but didn't play Houston. I was like, wow, really? No
Wow.
Houston in there?
Wow.
It wasn't also Rice that they hadn't played?
I think Rice was on there.
Was Rice on there?
Yeah.
So I was like, didn't realize it was that skewed for teams that they hadn't played in Texas.
Yeah.
Other than, the very, very few that they had. That was absolutely shocking. Favorite Will Ferrell movie?
It has to be Anchorman.
There's so much in Anchorman that I can't tell you how much of that is true. Like, don't get me wrong. There's so much of Anchorman that has no basis in reality.
Yeah.
But there's so much in Anchorman. I put Anchorman up there for getting media right. Like, there are pieces of everything that happens in Anchorman that take away the fight. Okay, let's take away but the stuff that happens in the newsroom.
Yeah.
The guy that only reads the teleprompter. I don't have to point to anybody. You already know who I'm talking about. The guy that has absolutely no clue what's going on and thinks he's God's gift to everything. I don't have to point to anybody. You know who I'm talking about.
Clint.
I don't have to point to anybody. You know who I'm talking about. That's all I'm going to say on these, okay? Like, there are elements of people in that movie in our working in media everyday lives. Brockmire is the other one. I don't know anybody like Brockmire,
Yeah.
but I know people that do things that Brockmire does.
Brockmire.
Really? Hank Azaria doing the play-by-play broadcast guy for the baseball team? Dude. Oh, my God. No. I mean, not safe for children.
I wasn't going to.
Not safe for children. Brockmire was awesome. Like, if you know anybody that does play-by-play, like on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever, those kind of things, you will absolutely see them in Brockmire from time to time.
Okay.
Oh, Brockmire was fantastic. Favorite Thanksgiving tradition?
That's a tough one. We do something different like every year. Thanksgiving is not a big tradition. Yeah. I mean, maybe I guess just seeing family.
Seeing family?
Yeah.
My sister, her birthday is tomorrow. So tomorrow is a perfect example where it falls on Thanksgiving. So there's some Thanksgivings that we do Thanksgiving and her birthday, but they're still like two separate things.
Yeah.
And there's some where it's Thanksgiving and then her birthday or her birthday and Thanksgiving. The one tradition though that I associate with it for my sister and her birthday, my dad has a terrible memory. Okay. My sister was born on the 23rd. Mm-hmm. If you ask my father what her birthday is, he says the 22nd. Well, I was trying to be a better brother in all of this, well beforehand. And I asked my dad, hey, when's Heather's birthday? Mm-hmm. And he told me the 22nd. So I was all super excited to wish my sister a happy birthday on the 22nd. I was doing the good thing. I was being the good brother. Look at me learning some things. I'm becoming a better human being. Could not have pissed her off more because I did it on the 22nd and not the 23rd.
That's the way it goes.
And since that day happened, and I've already done it today, on the 22nd, I will either text her or email her or post on her Facebook page the scene from Alice in Wonderland, A Very Merry Unbirthday. Because today is her unbirthday.
Right.
Tomorrow is her birthday.
I like it.
Everybody has an unbirthday. We have 365 of 4 of those, or 5 if it's a leap year.
Yes.
And when I ordered her birthday present this year, it was going to show up on Saturday. Well, her birthday's Thursday. So I said it's showing up on her 3rd unbirthday. Her first unbirthday is today. Friday would be her 2nd unbirthday. Saturday would be her 3rd unbirthday. But actually, it's getting delivered as we speak, I think. So she may get it before her birthday. And I also wrote on the card, did a Frosty the Snowman card. Because if you watch the Frosty the Snowman show, every time he comes alive, what's he say? See, I heard it through the screen in there. Yeah, he says happy birthday. And it's tagged Frosty the Snowman. So my sister's going to get that and get a kick out of it. But
see, if you would have given that to me, I would have been lost.
For the Frosty thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's tagged Frosty the Snowman. Okay. So that would, you'd be like, what is this? And move on from there. On the road to Dallas, going to listen to the Texas Tech destroy Nova today. I hope you are right, sir. Or ma'am, as the case may be. Better brother horse name.
Yeah.
I think we should all try to be better brothers or sisters, as the case may be, to our siblings. I mean, some of us are always awesome. I am not in that category. Beating Rice, SMU, and a bunch of SES teams, totally worth that tweet. That was so hilarious. Agreeing with you that Anchorman is the best Will Ferrell movie. Not Benchwarmers, Old School. I think I like Will Ferrell more in secondary characters than lead actors.
Yeah, I think that's...
Now, Anchorman was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anchorman was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think I like him more as the crazy friend than the lead actor.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I probably lean that way as well.
Benchwarmers, what would be the reason TB would think most listeners are so anti-NBA?
Wait, say that again?
What would be the reason TB, would think most listeners are so anti-NBA?
That's just the comments I usually get when I talk NBA.
We've read the chatline, Bullfighter, which is where we come from in that. I also don't know that all of it's fair. I think there's some legitimate things that the NBA has done wrong in the last decade or so that don't involve politics, that they've gotten away from. And I don't want to say when the NBA was good, because that's not fair, because there are athletes in the NBA right now that could absolutely have played back then.
Yeah.
Whenever you think it was good. Whenever you think it was good, LeBron could have played.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant could have played. Steph Curry could have played. There's still guys in today's league that would have flourished in any other league. And there's also guys in the past that would absolutely dominate today that maybe weren't the greatest player then. So but they've done a lot of missteps in what the sports audience is for the league in general. I hope the tournament does well for them. I don't wish them evil.
Same.
I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna watch football this week. I got a lot of football to watch this week. Everything Must Go is an underrated Will Ferrell movie. Everything Must Go.
I don't even know that one.
I don't know that movie. And then someone saying NBA for the win. You're predicting a tight game today, but a loss for the Red Raiders?
Yes.
I think I'm in there with you. Texas, I don't want to give you that. I don't want to give that away for you yet. We'll let you guys get to that on Friday for the Texas game. Cowboys, Commanders, prediction.
Cowboys big.
Cowboys big,
Yeah.
20-point big, 30-point big, 17
20.
dominant point win.
20-ish.
20-ish?
Yeah.
I like where your head's at. I really do. That'll do it for us. We're going to make way for Clint Scott, I think. Sneed's in with him. Could be wrong. I don't know who's coming in next.
Yeah.
That show rotates through shows, co-hosts. Like, Choice gets a lot of flack. That show has a lot of co-hosts. And I've been one of them. That's how I know. That'll do it for the end of the bench. For Lucas, for Taylor, for Ben, I'm Jeff. It's the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.